Good morning, everyone. I am Glyza Cabangon, and I will continue the reporting about evaluating and measuring performance. So let's start. Service integrity. Every employee must serve customers with absolute and unqualified integrity by having honest dealings and appropriate behavior. So, pinapaliwanag dito na hindi lang dapat yung mismong tao na nag-apply ng service ang may integrity, kundi pati yung kanyang serbisyo. Customer rights. Every employee must recognize the rights of the customer. Sa industry natin, palagi nating sinasabi na customers is always right. So, kung ano man yung concern nila, kung sa product ba, or sa service, or sa mismong tao, or empleyado na nag apply ng serbisyo, dapat palagi nating kinoconsider yung kanilang complaint, recommendation, or suggestions kasi it is part of their satisfaction sa service na matatanggap nila mula sa atin. Property and financial accountability. So, the first one is vandalism. Every employee must protect the property of the company and ensure that its components are free from damage and vandalism. So, it is important that we protect our company from vandalism because it is part of maintaining the integrity and reputation, and it also um, protects the image of our company from other people, especially to our customers. The next one is fraud. Every employee must be honest in handling company's property and shall not be engaged in any fraudulent activity. So it is important that we monitor the background of our employee and also what they are doing inside our company because it is one of the biggest issue in our company, yung may mga spy. May napapanood tayong mga movie, may mga spy or merong binebenta yung recipe or yung product or yung sinasabi yung mm, strategy ng isang company kaya nasisira yung company. So, it is important that we know the inside and outside of the process in our company. So, theft. Every employee must protect the asset of the company from theft, robbery, and losses. So it is very important that we secure our things, especially yung mga ginagamit natin in providing the service, the product sa ating mga 'di ba, customers and guests. So, kapag ka may nawala dun dahil nanakawan or puwedeng sabihin ay nawala, it is malaking malaking kawalan din kasi kaya nga natin yun pino-provide to help us provide para magkaroon ng kita yung company natin. So, 'pag mananakaw yun or mawawala yun, parang malaking kalugihan na rin sa'tin. So, the next one is pilferage. Every employee must safeguard the company's supplies and materials from pilferage. The next one is custodial accountability. Employees assigned to take custody of the company's property, materials, and money should be fully accountable for them on a periodic basis. Liquidation of funds. Employees must entrust with funds, operational funds, cash advances, and the like, should be liquidated at the prescribed dates by the accounting department. So it is about transparency of the funds and the money that is um, connected with our company. Next is knowledge of breach of trust or compromise of integrity or acts of dishonesty. Any employee who has full or partial knowledge of the incidents of breach of trust, compromise of integrity, or acts of dishonesty, including bribery, extortion, cheating, financial manipulation, forgery, faking documents, unauthorized solicitation, and the like, must report to his immediate superior or for the HR department and security department at once. So, example nito is yung, kung napanood yun na yung palabas ng Lisken, yung Alone Together. Meron dong eksenang illegal si Liza Soberano sa isang company, nagtatrabaho siya, ta's alam niya na merong ginagawang illegal dun sa company yung boss niya, pero hindi niya agad sinabi dun sa owner or dun sa management. Siya yung napasama. Kasi nanakawan yung company nila, nalugi yung company nila dahil sa ignorance niya. So, part ka nung kasalanan kapag hindi mo sinabi yun. Kasi parang i-consider yun ng company na tinotolerate mo yung ganun ginagawa. Kasi alam mo na nga mali, tas nakita mo sa team agad sinumbong, di ba? Employee benefits, services, and facilities. So the first one, we have application for benefits. Employees applying for benefits should ensure truthfulness in their claims. So, yung mga benefits na makukuha ng mga empleyado in the future like SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, at iba pa, they should apply for it with complete and honest documents and data. Ganun na rin yung sa mga beneficiaries nila in order for them to not have any conflicts or problem in the future kapag gagamitin na nila yung kanilang mga benepisyo. And the next one, we have reporting back to work. An employee who has a bill of leave benefits must file a back to work report form to officially document his return to work. So kapag ka nag-file ka ng leave, o kahit anong uri ng leave yan, kung vacation leave, maternity leave, or yung sa pagkakasakit, ganun, dapat mag-file ka din ng return to work in order for the company to record your leave and your return to work the report. And the next one, we have maintenance in employee facility. Employees using facilities intended for employees' use, example is the lockers, shower rooms, clinic, lounge, and cafeteria, must ensure proper maintenance, including but not limited to energy conservation at all times. So, lahat ng empleyado dapat inaalagaan or inaayos nila at pinapanatiling malinis yung kanilang workplace in order for them to work properly. I mean, yung hindi sila maiilang, hindi sila mandidire sa kanilang ginagalawan kasi napapanatili nila yung um, kalinisan at kaayusan ng kanilang workplace. So, duty meal and use of the cafeteria. Every employee is entitled to one duty for meal shift which must be availed of and consumed only at the employee's cafeteria observing cafeteria policies. So, kapag ka may meal time ng mga empleyado, they should also follow the policies of the cafeteria, no? Saka dun lang sila dapat kakain, hindi dun sa workplace, kundi dun lang sa cafeteria. Kasi yun ay may designation places kung saan ka pwedeng magtrabaho, kung saan ka pwedeng magpahinga, kung saan ka pwedeng kumain. Hindi ka pwedeng magpilit na sa isang lugar ka lang gagawa dahil tinatamad ka or sabihin mo para matapos mo lang agad yung trabaho mo habang kumakain ka. No, it's a big no kasi it's companies have policies and employees must follow that policies. Health-related concerns. Employees diagnosed with contagious or communicable or highly infectious diseases must not report for work until a qualified or designated company doctor has given medical clearance for work. So, employees must be responsible with their health concern. Kapag ka alam na may nararamdaman ng isang empleyado, nagpapa-check up na yun sa doctor ng isang company or kung meron mang private doctor, pwede din. Tapos kapagka sinabi ng doktor na hindi ka muna puwedeng magtrabaho, 'wag nang pipilitin kasi possible makahawa ka pa ta's magkakaroon ng masamang epekto yun sa company kasi siyempre mababawasan ng manpower kapagka maraming nagkasakit. So, yung sale ng company is maapektuhan din. At 'pag naapektuhan yung sale ng company, siyempre maapektuhan din yung mga empleyado. The next one, we have no smoking zone. Employees must observe the no smoking policy of the organization. So we must always respect the company's policy, especially yung no smoking zone, 'di ba? Kung nag-i-smoke man ng isang empleyado, pwede naman pero hindi dun sa mismong property. Pwedeng sa labas or dun sa smoking area kung meron man. Kasi kapag ka may no smoking zone, ibig sabihin nun is puwedeng may maapektuhan or possible na yung mga ka-work mo makalanghap ng secondhand smoke, so which is masama. So, we must follow. The last one, we have counseling services. So, employee whose performance evaluation does not meet the standards of the organization must voluntarily report for the counseling at the HR department. So, kapag alam mo sa sarili mo na empleyado ka ta's di mo na-meet yung standard ng isang company, puwede kang mag-attend ng counseling ta's mag-aano ka lang, report ka lang sa HR department. Ta's yun parang iti-train ka na, then magkakaroon ng character development, mga gano'n. We also have security, safety, and emergency. And the first one, we have customer security. Every employee must protect customers by not divulging information about the customers. So for us, as a employee, we must also protect our customers' privacy. And the next one, we have security checks. Every employee must voluntarily subject himself to security checks such as company ID card and presentation, bag searches, metal detectors, car searches, sniffing dogs, x-ray machines, security doors, security ID cameras, body frisking, and among others. Anti-terrorism. Every employee must train on employee preparedness in relation to possible terrorist attacks on their property. So it is important for every company to train their employees in order for them to protect themselves. Especially sa industry natin, hotel, 'di ba? Yung mga terorista kasi mas pinupuntahan nila yung mga crowded na tao, tas doon sila gagawa ng kanilang mga plano. So it is important if our employee knows how to defend themselves, mas malelessen natin yung problem na magkakaroon ng big damage dun sa company. Next one, we have security system. So every employee must abide by and not tamper the security system in place as prescribed by the management. So walang empleyado ang pwedeng mag-tamper sa security system, especially management lang talaga. Next one, we have safety in the workplace. Every employee must take initiative in ensuring that the workplace is safe and free from danger or possible accidents, contamination, and spread of disease. So ito nga yun, dapat lagi nating chine-check yung workplace natin kung meron bang possible na pagmulan ng aksidente, kahit pa natural disaster pa yan, or sa health related diseases, dapat is aware tayo nasa paligid natin, especially yung company, dapat ay chine-check nila yan every time para ma-prevent yung mga possible bad happenings na mangyari in the future. Next is handling threats. Every employee must be trained on handling challenging situations like death threats, bomb threats, and arson threats, and the like. So, yung mga company, tinitrain din dapat yung mga empleyado nila na makatanggap ng bomb threats, tas ng death threats, mga ganun. Kasi, hindi kasi imposible yun, especially kung napakakilala ng company nyo, no? So, possible na mangyari yun sa mga empleyado nyo. And companies must always protect their employees. And the last one, we have emergency procedure. Every employee must be trained on emergency procedure in event of natural disaster or man-made emergency. So it is important that our employees know the emergency exit, emergency procedures, for them to protect themselves from natural disasters or man-made emergencies. Next one, we have emergency brigade. Every employee must be aware of the functions, duties, and mechanism of the emergency brigade. Next, emergency resources. Every employee must safeguard all emergency equipment, facilities, and supplies, ensuring that they are complete, properly functioning, and free from tampering and pilferage. Next, lost and found. Every employee who finds an item left by a customer or fellow employees must surrender the said item to the lost and found section of the company. Last one, entry of forbidden items. Employees are not supposed to bring in any of the following deadly weapons: firearms, prohibited drugs, alcohol, pornographic materials, flammable chemicals, and personal effects which is not authorized by management. The use of company facilities and resources. Computers. Employee must use the computers only for official or business purposes. Password. Employees must observe confidentially of computer passwords. Computer file protection. Employees using the computer must only use authorized software and paraphernalia or attachments and must not download unknown software programs to protect the company electronic files from computer viruses. Next, availing of company products and services. Employees who are entitled or who wish to avail of company products and services such as hotel accommodation, company car use, free airline tickets, meal at the F&B outlets, spa services, and others must secure clearance from management. The last one is parking. Every employee who avails of parking facilities must follow rules pertaining to parking services. And appropriate behavior. First one, intoxication. Every employee must report for duty free from intoxication such as alcohol, prohibited substances, and etc. Next is loitering. Employee must always remain in their post when they are on duty unless their task required of them to be somewhere else. Sleeping on duty. Employees are expected to remain awake during the entire duration of their shift. Next is gambling. Any form of gambling is forbidden in the premises of the company. Next is fighting and troublesome behavior. Any form of physical or verbal altercation between or among employees or between an employee and a customer is strictly forbidden in the premises of the company. Next, anti-nepotism. In order to prevent collusion, no two employee of the company should be related by blood within the fifth degree of the consanguinity. Next, abandonment of post. An employee who does not report for work within the 5 consecutive days is deemed to have abandoned his post. Next is the sexual harassment or act of lasciviousness. Every employee must respect fellow employees at all times and must avoid sexual advances of similar coercive behavior towards other employees. We also have sexual liaison with customers. Every employee is forbidden from engaging in sexual relation with customers. Next, cooperation in an investigation or inquiry. Every employee must cooperate and must be truthful in an inquiry or investigation. Next, organizational mutiny. Every employee must preserve industrial peace and harmony in the workplace and must avoid agitating founded or unfounded sentiments of employees. Use the proper forums and the grievance mechanism of the company. And lastly, we have the loss of trust and confidence. Managerial employees must also enjoy the trust and confidence of top management, otherwise, they cease to be effective in the dispensation of their duties and responsibilities. The next thing we have is the discipline process. It is vital to understand first the balancing act manager face when confronted with a discipline issue. Management has rights in as much as employees have rights too. These rights are not absolute and there are limitations to them. And along with these rights are also responsibilities. Its basic steps in the discipline process are simple and easy to follow. It is important to do all the steps and not skip or omit any. So here are the rights of the management, such as right to manage the workforce, right to hire the employees, right to offer tenure only to qualified and competent employees, right to promote employees, right to discipline employees, right to discharge employees, right to reorganize, right to run the business at a profitable level, right to implement cost-saving devices, right to augment employee compensation over and above the minimum wage. So here we have the rights of the employees: right to equal employment opportunity, right to have protection from discrimination, right to have protection from unsafe or unhealthy working condition, right to assembly, form unions and participate in union activities, right to just and fair compensation, right to benefit as provided by law, right to security, to tenure, right to due process, right to ethical treatment, right to privacy, right to free speech, right to appeal of air grievance, and right to file legal actions. So here is the chart of the discipline process. The first one is the problem identification, the communication of violation. The next one is preliminary investigation. Next, formal investigation. Next, management procedure. And the last one is the appeal of procedure. The problem identification simply defines as it recognizes and identifies discipline issue or case. The next one, we have the communication of violation, and it defines as the violation of the employee must be communicated clearly and promptly to the employee through the most tactful and concise manner. Next is preliminary investigation. It entails fact finding and securing enough reason to elevate it to a harmful investigation. If the facts gathered warrant the employee's innocence, then the case need to be pursued. Next is the formal investigation. It entails several things. First, a show cause memo stating specific facts and provisions in the code of discipline violated must be written and served by the immediate superior or manager to the concerned employee. Next is the management of decision. It is vital to incorporate a follow-up plan in the decision. And lastly, the appeal of procedure. It starts with putting the appeal in motion. It should be made in writing and done as soon as possible.